Hi everyone, I'm Teresa. You made it. This is the journey of self-care. We've been meeting to every day on our mats together, learning to find our anchor, which is our breath. Just normally learning how to grow our breath and to breathe deeply. Let's become present right here, right now. Enjoy the journey, going within and listening deeply and learning to listen to ourselves and learning to hear what we feel and learning to challenge our daily growth. Let's come into a tabletop. Let's just push our torso back towards our feet and then waking it up, pushing it back out towards the front. Just breathing, nothing fancy, finding what feels good. And if you have some other movements you'd like to make, like a V8, do it. Do what feels good today. Find your flow. Allow your body to wake up. This is all about you, the journey of self, becoming oneness with self through the self, and learning to listen deeply so that we are learning to lead with our hearts, with love and kindness in this world, and noting that our footprint matters. Everything we do matters. Our smile matters. Let's breathe, waking it up. Now we're going to take our right hand all the way to the sky and bring it down all the way to the mat. Thread that needle, bring that right ear to the mat. Just waking up those shoulders, bringing that left forearm down, taking up space, breathing deeply. Now let's set an intent for our practice today. And I challenge you today to find some comfort right where you are. And let's grow. Take your hands, let's go back, reset, tabletop. Take your left arm all the way to the sky and bring it down. Thread that needle, find that opening. Bring that left ear to the mat, followed by your right forearm. And we're breathing deeply. Come back up, reset, tabletop. Now we're going to push down through our toes and come up and hover our knees right above the mat. Just engaging our core, noticing what feelings arise, learning to push away from things that no longer serve us. Take the knees back down to the mat, come up onto your knees and to your shins, and let's roll our hands out. Come into hero pose. You can come into your toes here, sit down into that. Just stretching them out from left to right, noticing what arises. Bring your hands down to the mat, a little bit further than your shoulder, his shoulder length. Now let's push up our torso all the way to the sky, pedaling it out into a downward dog. Noticing what arises, breathing deeply. Take your right leg, kick it all the way to the sky. Bring it all the way to the front of the mat, dropping your left knee down. Then we'll bring our hands all the way to the sky into a low lunge. Breathing. Open your arms up all the way to the right. Taking up space, engaging your core. Now you can bring your gaze all the way back up forward. Lengthen that. Now take your left hand all the way to the mat. Kick up onto that outer left toes and take that right hand all the way to the sky. Breathing deeply. Bring your right hand back down. Take your left knee to the mat and push your torso back into that half split. Taking a deep inhale, lengthening your torso down towards your knee. Deep breath. Returning. Bring your hands. Take up space about shoulder width apart. Now kick that right knee back. Come up onto your toes and push up into another downward dog. Pedaling it out. Dropping your head down. Pushing your torso down so you can get one extra stretch here. Take your left foot all the way to the sky. Now bring that left foot all the way to the front of your mat, dropping that right knee down and your toes to touch. Now we'll come up into our low lunge on the left side. Breathing deeply. Opening up to the left, engaging that core. Taking up space. Now you can take your right hand to the mat, your left hand to the sky, and kick it up onto the toes, on that right toes. And breathing. Embrace it. Breathing deeply. Noticing what feelings come up. Honoring those. Let's sit with it for a minute. Take your knee back down to the mat. Bring your left hand down. Push your torso back. Coming onto the toes of those right foot. And if you need to extend your left foot out further for your anatomy, do so. Keep a micro bend in your knee. Lengthen your torso and then go down. Breathing deeply. Deep inhales. Letting it go. Curl back up onto that left toe. Taking up space with your hands. Now just push your left knee back. We'll come back into a full plank here. Chaturanga all the way to the mat. You can drop your knees down to modify or challenge yourself here. Allow your elbows to brush by the side and come on down. Embracing it. Take your toes to touch the mat. Take your hands up to your shoulder blades. Push up to a Sphinx. Take your feet a little further apart if you like, and then we'll push up to a full seal. Breathing deep. If anything arises or feels uncomfortable, return down to Sphinx. Always listening to your body, always modifying for your need. This is all about you. This is your journey. Breathe deeply. Return to the mat. Now I want you to extend your arms all the way forward. Lift your legs up. Superwoman, superboy, be who you are and breathe. Now take your hands around by your side. Keeping it extended. Push it up. Now drop it down to the mat. Good job. Float it up one more time. Challenging yourself here. Growing. Allow your breath to lead the way. One more deep inhale. And then return to the mat. Great job. Bring your hands back to your shoulders. Then we're going to push back up to a tabletop. Kick your right leg out. Bend your right leg into you. Take your left hand, take it around there and grab whatever you can. Let's open it up into bow pose, half bow. And just feeling your left side opening up and breathing deeply and allowing your leg to push out and just getting whatever you can from it and finding your edge and breathing. One deep breath and then letting it go, extending it back out, take up space and letting it down, reset. Great job. Let's challenge ourselves today. You got this. Take your left leg out, bend it back into your body. Now take your right arm, reach it around, grab what you can, and now let's open our heart up to the sky, roll over to the right with your chest, allowing your leg to push away from you. taking a deep inhale, finding that half bow, challenging yourself today and letting it go. Take up space and returning to the mat. Great job. Now you can move from side to side here. Again, finding what feels good. Now we're going to extend our arms out a little bit further. Curl our toes under and push up into another downward dog. Pedaling it out. Now we're going to take baby steps all the way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Letting the weight of the world just go. Decompressing our spine. Noticing what rises here. Bending one knee at a time, going from side to side. You can interlace your arms here and go from left to right. Breathing deeply. Becoming present with this very moment. Come up halfway and drop it back down. Now we're going to bend our knees in, bring our arms up, and come and sit in that imaginary chair, Utkatasana. Sink down into your heels. Imagine your toes are lifting off the ground here. Embracing that. Now I want you to take one big sweep. We've done this before. We're going to sweep our torso back onto our legs, and we're going to sweep it back. Come back up tall. 2 more times. Sweep it back. Deep breaths. Come back up. 1 more time. Deep breath. Then come back up all the way to Dasana, mountain pose. Get out of those legs. Going from side to side. Feeling what arises. Now we're going to turn to the side of our mat. Our feet will be parallel with the outer edges of our mats. And we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen our torso. Coming up all the way to the top with our hands. Just lengthen our spine as tall as we can. And then we're going to forward fold down. Breathing. If your hands come to the mat, fine. If they hover, fine. If you'd like to bring your head all the way to the mat and lengthen your stretch, you can. Be where you are today. Allow it to grow. Walk your hands all the way over to the left. Come back to center. And walk your hands all the way over to the right. Come back to center. Take your hands to the lower edges of your back. Heel toe your feet in if that gives you a little more stability. And then we're going to roll up strong. Good job. Taking a deep breath. Now take your right toes and point them towards the front of your mat. Take your arms and take up space. Sink down into this. Warrior 2. Drop your left hand down. Take your right hand all the way to the sky. Good job. Taking up space. Now come up high with your hands. Take your right foot, curl it in. Take your left foot, curl it out. Warrior 2 to the left side of your mat. Good job. Drop your right hand down. Bring your left hand all the way to the sky. Taking up space. And breathing. Bring your hands all the way to the sky. Return your foot to your left. Turn towards your right. Take your hands all the way down to the mat. Kick your right foot back. We're in full plank here. You can bring your knees down to modify and come all the way to the mat. Good job. Now we're going to push back onto our sit bones and cool it down. Come into a seated Forward fold. Bring your legs out as long as your yoga mat. Your torso's going high. We're going to lengthen our spine, going up with our hands. Keep it a micro bend in our knees, and we're going to fold it down. Knowing that we show up for ourselves, giving ourselves these little kisses of self-care, it brings out the true, authentic person within you. You actually take yourself out of autopilot mode, and you become the real you were meant to live. Now, come all the way down to your mats today, bringing your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug here. Bring your head up to your knees, drenching it out. One big breath here. Let's take our feet as wide as our yoga mat, our palms to face the sky. And let's take a deep inhale and exhale. And this is the heart of yoga, the soul and heart, right here, this very moment. Corpse pose, Shavasana. Feel your body sinking into your mat. Feel yourself just weighting down, going inward, where all the good stuff is. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Allow the palms of your hands to face the sky to receive all the gifts for showing up today. Bring your hands to prayer, your center heart or your third eye. The inner light in me honors and loves the light in you. Thank you for coming today and allowing me to lead you. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe and follow for free. Thank you. Namaste.